We're going to be talking about something called the ambiguous sine law. So it's sine law, but there's going to be something ambiguous about it. So something is going to go slightly wrong as we're calculating these things. But not yet. We're going to start with some warm-ups. Just to go through sine law and cosine law. So what we have here, we know three things in a triangle. That means that we could solve everything. And the sine law says that A over sine A equals B over sine B, or something to that effect, however you may have learned it. Either way, it's the opposites. So x over sine 72 equals 17 over sine 41. So x equals 17 sine 72 all divided by sine 41. Sine 72 divided by... And you find that, if you did it correctly, that in this case, x is 24.6. And of course, if this was in centimeters, then that would also be in centimeters. Kilometers would be kilometers. You would just match it. We're up number 2. This is one when we have two sides. We don't have a pair of an angle on the opposite side. We have three things, so we could still solve it. We're going to use something called the cosine law here. And the cosine law is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. And I'm not really explaining the sine law or the cosine law. It's something you should probably look up in a different video. So it doesn't really matter which side you do. So apparently this is side C. I'll say this is A and this is B. So it's going to be 7 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 7 times 8 times the cosine of 81, which is going to be 49 times 64 minus, what's 2 times 56? 112, I think. Minus 112 cos 81. So 49 plus 64 minus 112 cos 81. These are all c squared, c squared. So c squared is 95.479, which means that c is 9.77. Again, whatever units those were. So if this was in centimeters, then that would also be centimeters. There's our answer. The third warm-up. This is also going to be cosine law. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. And you could either plug it in directly or you could rearrange it. So I'm going to say that if you rearrange it, you end up with cos c equals a squared plus b squared minus c squared over 2ab. Again, we'll call this CAB. So little a is 8 squared plus 11 squared minus 13 squared, all divided by 2 times 8 times 11, which is 64 plus 121 minus 169 over 176, or 176. So 64 plus 121 minus 169 is 16. So what we end up with, let's go over to here, cos of c is 16 over 176. So c equals the inverse cos of 16 over 176. And the inverse cos of 16 divided by 176 is 84.78. So 84.78 And this is an angle, so it would be in degrees. So it's 84.8 degrees. Okay, so that's cosine law and sine law.